Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling guilty, even though you didn't do anything wrong? Have you ever felt completely exhausted at the end of a workday, not because you did too much, but because you did too little of what actually matters? Most people think ambition looks like high energy. They think it looks like the guy waking up at 4 a.m., drinking a green smoothie, and posting about the grind on Instagram. But for many of you, suppressed ambition doesn't look like energy. It looks like depression. It looks like irritability. It looks like a deep, quiet, simmering rage that you are wasting your time. You aren't tired. You're bored. And that boredom is a signal. It is your potential screaming at you from behind a wall of social niceties. Society has likely labeled you as difficult, intense, overthinking. Or perhaps they have even suggested you have an attention disorder. But what if those weren't symptoms of a broken brain? What if they were the engine noise of a high-performance mind that is currently idling in neutral? In the next few minutes, I'm going to decode 8 specific unconscious habits that reveal your true potential. I will show you why you do them, why they scare average people, and how to finally flip the switch from frustrated to unstoppable. Let's establish the context. Picture this. You are in a weekly team meeting. It's Tuesday morning. The air is stale. Your manager is talking about a new process for filing reports. Everyone else is nodding, taking notes, agreeing, perhaps even smiling. They seem fine. They seem content. But you are physically uncomfortable. Your skin crawls. You feel a tightness in your chest. Not because you are a rebel, not because you have an attitude problem, but because you have already simulated the outcome of this process in your head, and you know it's going to fail in 3 months. You see the inefficiency instantly. You want to speak up, but last time you did, they told you to be more of a team player. So you shut down, you scroll on your phone, you check out. Later at a dinner party, your friends are talking about Netflix shows, lawn care, or celebrity gossip, and you feel like an alien. You feel a desperate urge to leave, to go home and read, or build something, or just stare at the ceiling and think. You look at them and think, how are they happy with this? Why can't I just be happy with a steady paycheck and a normal weekend? There's nothing wrong with you. This friction you feel is not a social disorder. Psychologists and profilers refer to this as the potential gap. It is the psychological distance between where you are and where your subconscious knows you belong. The wider the gap, the more pain you feel. That irritability isn't anger, it is energy. It is kinetic potential trapped in a static environment. When a racehorse is forced to pull a plow, it doesn't become a good plow horse. It becomes a neurotic, dangerous animal. You are the racehorse, and here are the 8 signs that prove it. Habit number 1, the jumping to the end syndrome. You have an incredibly low tolerance for slow explanations. When someone is explaining a concept to you, and they are at step A, your brain has already extrapolated the data and arrived at step Z. You often find yourself interrupting people. You finish their sentences. You might tap your foot or look away while they are talking. People often call this rude. They say you are impatient or that you don't listen. But the truth is, you are listening too fast. You have high-velocity information processing. Your brain is a supercomputer trying to download data via a dial-up connection. The lag time between their speech and your understanding is painful for you. This is a common trait among top-tier strategists, CEOs, and visionaries. Your brain optimizes for efficiency. You don't need the fluff. You need the core data so you can act on it. while polite society tells you to slow down. Your ambition is telling you that time is a wasting asset. Habit number 2, strategic procrastination. You wait until the very last minute to do a task. You might have a deadline in 2 weeks, but you don't touch the work until the night before. You stress yourself out. You drink 3 coffees, you pull an all-nighter, and you deliver the work. And usually, the work is excellent. You beat yourself up about this. You call yourself lazy. You buy planners you never use. But this isn't laziness. This is a challenge deficiency. Your brain refuses to engage with low-level tasks. It enters a dormant state to save energy. It only wakes up when the stakes are high enough to release the necessary dopamine and adrenaline to focus. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a boredom problem. You're trying to manufacture a crisis just to feel something. High-potential individuals often struggle with mundane tasks because their engine is built for sprints, not for jogging. You perform best under pressure because that is the only time the environment matches your internal intensity. Habit number 3, the obsessive loop. When you find something truly interesting, you vanish. You forget to eat. You forget to text people back. You might research a random topic, like ancient Roman concrete or AI coding architecture, for 6 hours straight at 2 a.m. Society calls this fixation or hyperfocus. They might even pathologize it. They tell you that you need balance. But look at the history of great achievement. Did Elon Musk have balance? Did Steve Jobs have balance? No, they had obsession. This ability to lock in, to go deep into the rabbit hole, is not a bug. It is a feature. We call this deep work capability. In an economy of distraction, where most people cannot focus for more than 15 seconds, the ability to obsess over a problem until you solve it is a superpower. Your ambition is trying to find a target worthy of this laser beam. The problem isn't that you obsess. The problem is that you haven't found a mission big enough to justify the obsession yet. Habit number 4, intolerance for inefficiency. You get unreasonably angry when you see bad design. You stand in line at the grocery store watching the cashier, and you are mentally redesigning the checkout process to make it 20% faster. You look at a bureaucratic rule at work, and you want to scream because it makes no logical sense. Average people just shrug. They say, "It is what it is." You cannot say that. You are physically incapable of accepting incompetence. This is because you are a system thinker. You don't see the world as a series of events. You see it as a machine. And when the machine is broken, you feel a compulsion to fix it. This intolerance is the seed of all innovation. Every great company, every great invention started because someone got angry at how inefficient the status quo was. Your anger is not a personality flaw. It is market research. Habit number 5, the imposter reality check. You constantly feel like you don't know enough. You look at your achievements and think, "I just got lucky." Or if they really knew how much I was winging it, they would fire me. Paradoxically, this is a sign of high competence. It is the Dunning-Kruger effect in reverse. Stupid people are often overflowing with confidence because they are too ignorant to know what they don't know. But you see the complexity of the world. You see the gaps in your knowledge. That gap makes you feel like a fraud, but it also drives you to learn. The truly ambitious are always students. They are never satisfied with their current level of mastery. That gnawing feeling of "I need to be better" is the fuel that keeps you climbing when everyone else has set up camp halfway up the mountain. Habit number 6, you play devil's advocate. You're in a meeting and everyone is excited about a new plan. But you raise your hand. You point out the risks. You ask, what if this goes wrong? You poke holes in the argument. People think you are being negative. They think you are a pessimist. In reality, you are stress testing the structural integrity of the idea. You are a risk assessor by nature. You are not trying to kill the dream. You are trying to bulletproof it. High potential minds are constantly running simulations of the future. You see the pitfalls before anyone else does. This can be socially expensive, yes. But in a high-stakes environment, the person who can foresee the disaster is the most valuable person in the room. You are the shield that protects the group from their own blind optimism. Habit number 7, the Sunday night existential crisis. We all know the Sunday scaries. But for you, it's not just about going back to work. It is a deep existential dread. It's a feeling of mourning. While others dread Monday because they have to wake up early, you dread Monday because you have to return to a loop that doesn't serve you. You have to put the mask back on. You have to shrink yourself to fit into a box that is too small. That anxiety is your ambition screaming for a new mission. It is your soul rejecting the mediocrity of your current situation. Pain is information. If your hand touches a hot stove, the pain tells you to move your hand. If your soul hurts on Sunday night, it is telling you to move your life. Habit number 8, you feel guilty. When relaxing, you finally get a day off. You try to watch a movie or lie on the beach, but you can't. Your brain is nagging you. A voice in the back of your head says, you should be doing something. You're wasting time. You try to silence it. You try to force yourself to chill, but the guilt remains. This is not an inability to relax. This is an overflow of creative energy that hasn't been spent yet. Think of a border collie. If you keep a border collie in a small apartment and don't walk it, it will destroy the furniture. It isn't a bad dog. It is a working dog with no work to do. You feel guilty because you know, deep down, that you have more to give. You haven't emptied the tank. When you finally find your true purpose, when you work yourself to the bone on something you love, you will be able to sleep like a baby. Until then, the guilt is your reminder that you are underdeployed. So, you have these habits. You interrupt, you procrastinate, you obsess, you critique, and you can't relax. The problem is, if you don't manage them, they turn toxic. They ruin your relationships and your health. Here is the mistake most people make. They try to medicate these traits away. They try to fix themselves. They force themselves to sit still. They force themselves to be nice in meetings. They suppress the energy until they burn out or explode. Do not do that. You must practice strategic deployment. Don't unleash your devil's advocate energy on your spouse or your friends. Unleash it on a business problem. Don't try to cure your obsessive loop. Give it a target. Pick a hard skill, coding, writing, investing, and let the beast feed on that. When you feel that intolerance for inefficiency rise up, do not complain. Write it down. That is a business idea. That is a solution you can sell. Stop trying to kill the racehorse. Just find a track where it can run. If you recognize yourself in this list, I want you to take a deep breath. You have spent years thinking you were broken. You thought you were too intense, too demanding, too weird. You aren't. You are simply a high-performance engine inside a sedan. The shaking, the noise, the overheating, that's not a mechanical failure. That is what happens when you try to drive a Ferrari at 15 miles per hour in a school zone. Your potential is demanding to be used. The anxiety you feel is the cost of admission for the life you are capable of living. Embrace the obsession. Embrace the dissatisfaction. Those are your compass. The world will try to average you out. They will tell you to calm down. Do not listen. If you want to learn how to calibrate this energy, how to read the game, and how to position yourself where your intensity is an asset, not a liability, then you belong here. Subscribe to the Shadow Intel. We don't fix you. We unleash you. Stay sharp. Disappear.